When special effects and the puppets had to come together, the puppet was borrowed from the puppeteers and taken to the special effects stage.
There was huge rivalry between the puppeteers and the effects stages.
Yes, we were always a bit worried when the puppets were borrowed, sorry, that they wouldn't come back as they went away.
There was obviously not rivalry, it was, oh, don't blow another one up, please, Derek, don't do it. You know, don't do this to us, you don't know how long it takes. And he'd shrug his shoulders and laugh about it.
Special effects, dirty, grubby, foul-mouthed, lots of noise, quite enjoyable.
There was a good banter between, you know, all the units.
We had a meeting once, we were told not to be rude about the puppeteers.
Back to my days in the cutting room, along came magnetic recording. You'd hold a strip of film and you can't see anything on it. But in fact, if you run it through a sensing head, it produced dialogue or whatever it was that been recording on it. And I just stared in wonderment because there was a recording on it that I couldn't see, but it was apparently possible to wipe that recording and then record something else on the same piece of film. That was what led me to think, well, our brains work on electrical impulses. But of course, this was very, very exciting.
Professor McLean's been developing this machine, which is called the Big Rat, which essentially transfers thought patterns from one person to another. He's approached by a sort of Secret Service type government agency who would like to use the machine and his 9-year-old son to spy on other organisations and prevent terrorist activity.
The Big Rat was an amazing piece of hardware. I mean, when you see at the beginning of the titles that fantastic, all the tapes whirring and the lights flickering and Joe going into the cage and it all going crazy, it is cool. It is really cool.
This boy, we could put him in a machine and he could take the brain of a surgeon, he could be a mathematician, he could be anything, this kid.
What kid doesn't want to be a jet pilot? What kid doesn't want to be a secret agent? What kid doesn't want to be king for a day? To me, it is this wonderful sense of a child being able to one-up adults, which is a dream that every child has when you're being controlled by your parents or you're controlled by your teachers. So Joe is this wonderful vehicle for going places that no kid can ever go.
They can't really stop me now, Sam. They may try ground-to-air missiles. And that's just what they're doing, Sam. They're throwing everything they've got at me. I can't chance it. I'm going in to attack the base.
Okay, Joe. You're the expert.
I mean, it's a horrifying concept by today's standards. You know, it's like you take this little 9-year-old kid and you put all of these brain waves of other people into his head and he then goes off and kills people.
Over here, Coletti.
It never occurred to us that we were brainwashing a young kid because it was for the good of mankind.
When do I get my badge?
Right now, Joe 90. Right now.
Action on the door. And dialogue.
I am not interested in the excuses for your failure.
For hundreds of years, puppeteers have had the same problem. All they can see are the strings and the tops of the puppet's head. But by using this system, they can, for the first time, see exactly what an audience can see. And it's leading to greater subtlety in the puppet movements they create.
Gerry had this idea of getting a video camera and sticking it through the eyepiece of the Ariflex.
So the camera operator was working it from a monitor.
It was much better for us puppeteers because we could look at the screen right in front of us there.
Yeah.
And see exactly what the puppet was doing without looking down on the top of its head all the time.
Because they're behind the puppets while the camera is in front, they have a mirror image on their television screens so that when they move the puppet to the left, the picture moves to the left too. This puppet studio has been experimenting for years with various electronic video systems attached to conventional film cameras.
They turned them off for lunchtime when it came back for lunch. Switched it all on again. It was completely haywire. Pictures were unviewable. pictures were rolling over like this, or there were squiggles this way and that way, and everybody was fiddling with connectors and shaking the wire all the way down, you know. And then eventually they'd make a phone call, and then some man with a screwdriver would come down. We were always waiting the whole time. There was so much time was lost. It was incredible that, give Gerry his due, he stuck at it, he stuck with the theory, and it was great.
The television picture can also be recorded on videotape. This means that if the director or the cameraman want to check something that's already been filmed, they can play it back immediately. Before, if there was any doubt in their minds, they'd automatically have shot the scene again just to be sure.
You have to hand the credit to Gerry Anderson for persevering with the video assist, because it's now the norm.